The two big railway companies in the county of Worcester were the Midland and the Great Western. By purchasing the Birmingham and Gloucester Railway in 1846, the Midland achieved direct access into the heart of GWR territory. In this film, we will portray scenes on the ex-Midland railway lines throughout the county, although for completeness sometimes straying over the border into neighbouring counties. The main line featured the famous Lickey Incline, and this will be covered in the latter days of steam, in detail. For those who witnessed the climb at 1 in 37 to Blackwell, they will surely never forget it. The top of the Lickey Incline is reached at Blackwell. Saltley's Black 5, 44966 pauses on an evening New Street to Gloucester stopping service. The severity of the incline can be clearly seen as the train begins the 2 miles and 4 chains descent to Bromsgrove. Two of the 8400 class bankers drop down the incline. We will follow them on the footplate of 9F 92230. To save line occupation, 2 more banking engines join us for the descent. The engines are not coupled together. The handbrake is screwed down on the 9F and only light steam applied on the rear engine to keep them close. As we approach Bromsgrove station, the home signal is off for the down main. A passenger train is about to attack the climb. The servicing point for the banking engines is on the west side of the line, and returning engines are moved to it as soon as possible. As the engines are not coupled together, they follow each other across the ladder of pointwork crossing up and down main lines. A down freight takes water by Bromsgrove South signal box as 92230 comes onto the coaling point. Facilities for water and fire cleaning were also available. 92230 has a BR1G tender holding 5,000 gallons of water and 7 tons of coal. A 4F060 heads towards the station on the up main line. It's a short train and requires only 1 unit of banking power. The tank engines of the 8400 class and the Ginters before them rated as 1 unit, the 9F210 as 2 units. The tank engines wait at the coaling stage, the south signal box in the background. It was from this box that the signalman would display a board with the number of engines required for each train. 45626 Seychelles arrives on an up-perishables train on the 1st of July 1964. This train needs 2 tank engines, and they are signalled away to the rear of the train by the middle disc signal on a 3-disc frame. These dummy signals apply to the 3 possible directions of travel: the bottom to the up main and the top one straight ahead. 9453, recently transferred in from Gloucester, is the second banker. At the station, 45626 is about to depart as visiting B1 61372 looks on. Approaching from the south, on the upper relief line, is Saltley's 44218 on coal empties. At the station, another of Saltley's 4Fs, 44226, has another load of coal empties. As two bankers blast their way onto the incline, note the point on the down line into the platform and down relief line. It was said to have the finest switchblades on the region. Trains with no leading bogie would certainly lurch over this turnout. We will now look at various trains on the incline. Near Pikes Pool, a 4F again, with the assistance of an 8400 class tank. Boundary changes in February 1958 brought the main line south of Blackwell into the western region, and the Hawksworth panniers began taking over banking duties from the LMS Ginties. Jubilee 45592 indoor has the maximum of 8 wagons for a train to go up unassisted. It's slow progress, but the steam pressure is well up. Sister locomotive 45605, Cyprus, requires 2 bankers. The rearmost banker is 9430, which was transferred from Neath, South Wales in July 1961 to work on the incline. This Black 5 has a firebox full of coal, judging from the chimney. The banking is with 3 units, a 9F and a pannier, a total of over £62,000 of tractive effort, both engines well up to the mark. Western motive power could also be seen, besides the bankers. Swindon's 5939, Tangley Hall, is at the head of a long freight, including wooden-bodied mineral wagons, assisted by 3 panniers. A rare visit of a Southern Region Pacific 34079-141 Squadron took place on the 14th of June 1964, when she worked a special from Bristol to Derby and Crewe. The banker was 9F 92230. A second view, approaching Burcourt. back to normal working. 46147, the Northamptonshire Regiment, is in sight of Blackwell at Burcourt. As a 9F descends, a Black 5 approaches on August Bank Holiday Saturday 1961, with an extra from the West Country needing 2 bankers. The stock is mainly ex-LMS. The train following has one of Bromsgrove ginters in the pair of bankers. A contrast in the ability of crews or engines to climb the Lickey is seen here. A Gloucester to Birmingham stopper climbs with just 4 coaches, banked by a 9F, probably due to no panniers available at Bromsgrove at the time. However, the next train with a similar Black 5 has 9 on and is making a tremendous effort. Certainly the fireman is having a harder time on the shovel than his counterpart on the previous train. The linesiders at Burcourt Crossing seem to be enjoying the spectacle. Enthusiasts of all ages witness the glory of steam on the Lickey, especially on summer Saturdays. A standard class 5 on a train for Sheffield and the North East breasts the summit at Blackwell onto a more manageable 1 in 291. 45712 Victory has a stopping service to New Street. Needing to stop in the station, the banker drops off before the platforms. It appears this Black 5 has a problem, as the driver has requested assistance with only 3 coaches. Reaching the summit is Crewe South's 45067. (92079) arrived at Bromsgrove in May 1956 and took over banking duties from the famous Big Bertha, 58100. By November 1956, she was joined by the first of an allocation of 8400 type pannier tanks. Here at the coaling stage, they are all high in steam pressure, awaiting their duties. Another regular 9F in latter days was 92230. Thanks to friend Ellis James Robertson, who took these shots, we can join her crew on the footplate. Beyond St Godwald's Bridge, the banker digs in through the cutting and under Finstall Road. The engine is in full forward gear and about half regulator. Out on the open bank and past Pike's Pool, the fireman feeds the 40 square feet of grate with the fire glowing to white heat. Our silhouette shows the safety valves feathering at 250 pounds per square inch, giving nearly 40,000 pounds of tractive effort. The fire is fed one more time as we approach Blackwell, and the fireman can now relax a little. (92230) eases off her train at Blackwell Box, passing a raft of wagons destined for Bromsgrove Wagon Works. Following behind is Gloucester's 73068 on a returning excursion from Cadbury's factory at Bourneville. Trains coming south onto the incline were under some restrictions. Freight trains with unfitted wagons had their brakes pinned down, 1 in every 2 if loaded, 1 in 3 if empty, by brakesmen. The train had to be brought to a stand first, and when signalled away and on the move, the brakesman started work. 48704 of Kettering Shed eases onto the incline. Once on the descent, the locomotive tender brake would be wound down hard, and the train was not to exceed 11 miles per hour. Bankers had to return to Bromsgrove as quickly as possible, and were sent down the bank in groups if necessary. They were uncoupled, just as when they did their banking duties. The first engine, therefore, did all the braking. At the bottom of the incline, these 3 are signalled straight down the main line to Bromsgrove South, to cross over to the upside again. Special regulations existed on the Lickey, which allowed bankers to follow a down goods train at limited speed and to keep it in sight at all times. This operation is seen here. And when a track was under engineering possession, the bottleneck of the Lickey was even worse. This 9F and Pannier are obliged to return to Bromsgrove wrong line. At Bromsgrove, bankers are returning past the wagon works, where Ginty 47276 is standing out of use. Sister engine 47308 is doing some shunting. The Birmingham and Gloucester Railway built their loco works here in 1840. It eventually became a wagon works only. Sited next to the works was Bromsgrove Shed with 3 roads, coded 21C by the Midland region. In 1958, under Western control, it became 85F, but in 1961 it changed again to 85D. The shed closed in 1964. Arriving along the down relief line is 6939 Calverley Hall of Cardiff East Dock. She will pull up at Bromsgrove South to have the wagon brakes unpinned. 6947 Helmingham Hall arrives on an up-stopping service on the 1st of July 1964. She would become notable later when on October the 7th, 1965, she was sent to Bromsgrove to replace a derailed Class 37, D6939, on banking duty, and became the last steam banker on the Lickey Incline. Opposite the banker's servicing point, activity continues. A 9F pulls away, after having its wagon brakes taken off and possibly a crew change. An engine crew mess room was situated next to Bromsgrove South Box. The line becomes quadruple again, as far as Stoke Works Junction. Prairie 6155 of Worcester Shed arrives light engine, before 2 standard Class 5s head south. The second train passing the relief loco men's cabin, water crane and signal box. Burton's 44941 is in full flight with an express freight on the down main line, south of the overbridge after passing Bromsgrove South Box. Ambling down the relief line, an 8400 Pannier, overtaken by a local stopping train.